Would you mind if we go to chess.com and I want to show our famous preparation?
The king
yeah,
c3.
yeah. So
Yeah, sure.
yeah.
Let me sign in. Okay, now it should be there.
Okay, so I'll send you the invitation.
1 second, I'm just getting into the
Sure.
live chess, and then you'll tell me.
Yeah. You're there, yeah?
I'm there.
Okay.
I don't see your message yet.
You got it now?
Yeah. Great.
So, yeah, let us think. I'll just set the position. Do you see the position now?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I see the notation. But you printed the, you put the game, but not our line, right?
Yeah. No, our line I'll get there.
Yeah.
But before I go there, there's just one last question I wanted to ask. So to the viewers, many of you, hang on, yeah. So to the viewers, many of you who do not know what we prepared against one e4 in these 3 matches. So I will just quickly tell what we saw. So for Kramnik match, this is what we prepared. It's going to be a surprise for many people. This was our preparation for Kramnik match. Dragon, seriously. And for Topalov match, against e4, our preparation was French Rubinstein. I am sure those who has not read Anand files where it is already mentioned, this would come as a shock. And to make things worse, against Gelfand, I don't think we had any preparation at all against e4. I have no idea what we are even planning. We just assumed that Gelfand will never play e4. So there is one question that I wanted to ask Anand. So the amount of work we did, like including you obviously, to these lines, especially French Rubinstein, is insurmountable, huge. The other day I was checking, okay, we did not get a chance to play these lines in World Championship match because nobody played e4, neither Kramnik, Topalov or Gelfand. But I was checking your games after World Championship match and I could not find a single Dragon game or a French game. So I want to ask you, in hindsight, would you consider this as a waste of time, or would you take it in such a way that this was a project, it was meant for that particular match and it gave you confidence, you got the result and that was it?
I would say that for the Kramnik match, the problem was, given that we ourselves, I had switched from e4 to d4 for this match.
Mm-hmm.
It was quite careless to not having considered at all that Kramnik could shift.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, he could have shifted the same way, and shifted in the reverse direction, and then we'd be right back where. But I genuinely remember telling someone, and this is the problem, we told someone that we should have some sort of line for e4, and everyone in the room agreed.
Mm-hmm.
And then everyone decided that someone else was going to get this work done. So this became one of these classic problems that everyone felt should be done, but nobody was going to do.
Right.
And then we actually got to Bonn, and then realized that no one has still done it. And then we panicked and we came up with the Dragon.
Well, also we
And
panicked because we got to know the seconds. Yeah, it was Fresinet, Leko, and Rublevsky. Most of them are E4 players. So that was also another
yes,
reason of panic.
correct. And so we got this idea that I'll play the dragon, but for me it was always clear. Of I always felt our dragon work then was not that detailed.
For
It
sure.
was always supposed to be this is the one opening he could never have thought of.
Hmm.
So you get away with this trap, and we have put the magic Ripka on
Critical
these
positions.
lines, so they won't lose right away, and you're on your own.
Yeah.
I never felt the dragon was really serious work, and Kazim lost to Taimur, though he had polished it and he done it, but he lost to Taimur, if I remember
Yeah,
correctly.
yeah, yeah.
And then for the Topolov match, the Open Spanish and the Rubinstein was definitely a higher quality because we had actually considered the
Planning to play. Yeah.
probability that Topolov would play E4.
Hmm.
But having spent so much time on that, somehow we were not. I was not in the mood to use it because the Rubinstein turned out to be depressing, and well, I can say that many years later, some 7 or 8 years later, I started playing Open Spanish.
Yeah.
So and for the girlfriend match, yeah, we didn't even bother pretending.
No, we just did not prepare.
But every once in a while there was a clever guess. If you remember game one in
Hmm.
the Kramnik match,
Hmm.
I actually I either the previous evening or on one of the rest days before the first round,
Hmm.
I suddenly told myself, what if he does the
Extend slab.
exchange Spanish?
Yeah.
Maybe I
Extend
exchange
slab
slab.
also.
Maybe it
Extend
was
slab also.
maybe it was even in the morning.
Hmm.
And then I knew that by now to give you lines and to get back lines would be ridiculous. So I
Hmm.
just looked at my notes and I found this one pawn sack and I thought, okay, I'll manage. And luckily he played it and I got this one line in. And because I checked that one line, at least I didn't do something crazy.
Hey,
And
I didn't know this. This is the line that
that
you checked on your own, yeah? This particular Extend slab game one.
that's how I recall it. But I
Oh,
will
wow.
be
Hmm. No, very much possible. Very much possible. Yeah.
yeah, the mists of time have taken over. But my feeling is that I checked some old analysis I had my own.
Hmm.
I put a great engine on it and
Yeah.
checked few moves and then thought, fine, at least. I think the problem in something like the exchange slab is that if your opponent plays it and then you don't really know what you're supposed to do, and then you start hesitating, and then you finally play a line that is superficially you only studied superficially, and it turns out to be bad. There are worst
Yeah.
case scenarios.
Hmm.
Mine was amongst the best. I had one good line. It didn't collapse at a superficial level. You had to go quite deep,
Hmm.
if at all, and I survived that game. But that was a vulnerable point as well.
Yeah, yeah, sure. No, we were. I still remember the first game when he played CD5. We were like, oh God, we didn't, like we didn't spend that much time. This is not nice at all.
Yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, getting back to
I
the
mean that's why I always tell people. I mean, even the best match. I mean, that is my most successful match in my life, and had one thing been different this way, that way, it could have easily been some other way.
sure. Yeah. So getting back to this girlfriend thing. So yeah, this is how it
Yeah,
went. Yeah, so I remember this particular incident, like when tiebreak match was supposed to take place, and we had some time, and I still remember I was given a task that if I can find a refutation on e5, while the rest of the team walks on from black side, and if I find a refutation here or interesting idea, okay, refutation is too strong. If I find some kind of interesting idea, then the team will walk on e4, and if I don't find, like let's say within 4 hours or whatever time at that time we had in the evening, then the team will try to work on ground-field f3. Very luckily, there was one idea that was found, which is what happened in the game. Uh, First, let me tell what Gelfand played here. So there are two moves in this position, d6 and f6. Gelfand played d6, and then yeah, we were prepared somewhere until here. Yeah, somewhere until here, and we considered this position to be pleasant for white, and Anand won a nice game. But the reason why I am showing this to the audience is that there was a moment where we were not sure after d4, which is a novelty, if Gelfand will play d6 or f6. And I just want to show how flexible Anand is, uh, how he was ready to play such a risky line, if I can call it, in a World Championship match rapid game. So we saw f6. The idea was knight f3. Queen takes e4 check.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
yeah, king d2 threatening rook e1. Knight e7, rook e1. Here I analyzed initially two moves, queen g6 and queen f5. If queen g6, the idea was to play king c3, tuck in the king here. If black plays a4, a5, we go a4. And the point is, there is a pin, and black is unable to play king f7 because this sort of traps the queen. So then,
Forgotten this detail.
you forgot this one. Yeah? So then there was this move that, okay, maybe he'll put the queen on f5 so that after king f7, knight h4, the queen is not trapped. And I told Anand it's the same idea. Like you come king c3 and put the king on b2, and after a5 you have a4. When I showed him this, he was like, yeah, sure, I can play this. And can you just check what happens for c4? And I was a little bit taken back because I did not check this line. I saw every other thing. And there was also a bit psychological thing because one of the games, Gelfand
But
played
come on,
this.
game 12, he had played c4.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. That it was a bit embarrassing that I, for the second time, missing c4 because on game 12, Gelfand c4 was clearly missed by the team. So I remember at this point the entire team joined, and together we found the following line, which is one of the best opening, from aesthetical point of view, which I have ever seen. So we came to the conclusion that king into c4 is the best move here. And once again, today morning I checked, this is indeed the best move. The idea is now white wants to come back here again. So giving a check will not do anything, and this knight is pinned. So basically white is coming back. So the only way to stop is to play queen a5. And now black is threatening one move mate. And now this time white comes other way around. Now he wants to get here. So we check this.
Is there a queen a2 coming somewhere?
Queen a2.
Well, cb3 and queen a2, no.
Yeah, sure. But you.
Okay, yeah, you're
exactly.
getting there.
Yeah. And d8 was the move. We said queen c2. Check here. This was our analysis, guys, for World Championship rapid match. I mean, who could imagine looking at this position that this king actually went all the way to c4 and and then came back
and is in g1. Yes.
And is in g1. And I'm still amazed that Anand, you actually agreed to play this. You sort of trusted us that this is actually fine, and you can go ahead, and when everything is at stake, when you're playing World Championship match in rapid, God knows what might come, and you actually agreed to play this.
But it's pretty decent odds. I mean, I have a king on g1. I am only a piece down, and that king is floating around. And on top of that, instead of rook b1, I have a draw with queen e6, c6 check back. If at the board, I mean, I could easily get to that point, and then if Gelfand finds his way perfectly, I could still take a draw. You don't get that kind of gem. So, to be honest, if you'd given me an idea like this in every game before the game, I would have played it all 12 games. I I think there is much scarier stuff that you guys made me do, but this wasn't one of them.
Yeah.